Okay. So, hello everybody. I'm Ellen. I'm in my third year of environmental engineering, or fourth year. I finished my third year in May, and I'm right on co-op with Environment Canada.
I'm Emma Rivard. I'm in my fifth year of environmental engineering. I finished all my co-ops and I did my first 2 years at St. FX.
Yeah. So, what is environmental engineering? Environmental engineering is kind of a combination between civil and chemical, and then has its own things within that to make it environmental. So, it's really anything to do with the soil, air, water, or really any engineering project in general. So, a lot of environmental engineering is like contaminate cleanup, decommissioning, retrofitting, making sure that companies and businesses are doing like the best practices they can be to be the most environmentally conscious they can be. And then like innovation too, with making processes better and more efficient and environmentally friendly.
Yep.
So Emma, why is it important?
Environmental engineering is very important because obviously we know like everyone's very aware of climate change and the problems that are arising from that. And it's also like very commonly known how closely tied the future is with like the health of the environment. And because of that, there's lots of regulations and guidelines being put in every year, and they're changing every year by like governments and regulators and the people that can monitor these aspects of the environment, like the air, land, and water, are environmental engineers. And so any project that goes forward, like whether it's construction or kind of like an industrial project or those kinds of things, they all have things that need to be monitored, remediated, taken care of, and that is the job of the environmental engineer. And so every year it's growing.
Yeah, so types of environmental engineering, because it's such a new discipline, there's such like a wide range of things you can be doing. So some of the big ones, again, like related to land, water, air, is like wastewater treatment, making sure the discharges are safe to be outputted, and making sure that like everything is within its proper limits. So that's related to air, water, any company that's like letting out any discharges, making sure that what they're discharging is the safe amount and is up to code. There's also a lot of like cleanup from the past like 100 years when the environment maybe wasn't the number one priority for certain projects, and now those projects need to be remediated to make sure that moving forward there's not going to be any long-term issues with that, like that they had. So a lot of cleanup, and planning, and then also like moving forward, like I said before, like innovation to making sure that we're doing the best practices, so that as the government like lowers its emission rates that are like its allowable rates of emission of different contaminants, and like carbon dioxide, that companies are staying within that because they've looked ahead, and focused more on the environment with their practices. So the courses in environmental engineering, there's a bunch. In first and second year, you do basically what every other discipline does. Second year, it gets a bit more specified, but in third and fourth year, or third and fifth year, you do very applicable courses to what you'll be doing in the field, either during co-op or after school. So on the left-hand side is the third year courses. You take 6 courses a semester. A lot of them are shared with civil, but for environmental has to take, some people can take environmental courses as electives, but environmental has to take all of these, but specifically like that are environmental measurement and analysis, microbiology, environmental law, air quality, solid waste, and landfill engineering. So those are very like important for environmental to know.
Yeah. And then in fifth year, your second semester, fifth year, you only have 5 courses. And then another big thing about fifth year is you have your design project, and that runs over the fall and the winter semester. And you're given a group and a project, and it's kind of like a consulting problem, and it lasts all year, and that's a big part of your grade. The other thing within fifth year is you have a technical and a design elective that you get to choose for each semester, so 4 in total. And like depending on what you were interested in your co-ops or like what you want to learn more about, you get to choose them. So right now I'm doing contaminant fate and transport and project management. And project management is with people in other disciplines, so you can take that into account too. There's wastewater ones you can take, GIS courses, and you can find all of the electives on the Dalhousie Environmental Engineering course page. And I think every year they stay pretty much the same, but there are changes. And also when you're looking at it, make sure to know which semester the courses are offered, because they're not offered on both. So if there's one you're really interested in, make sure you know which semester to take it in.
Yeah, so our experiences, we both went to St. FX our first 2 years and then came to Dalhousie for third year. So with environmental, you go just straight into third year from September to May regularly. And then your co-op starts May, if you choose that path, May till the following September. So you have 16 months off to do at least 3 co-ops, so 3 4-month co-ops. So right now I'm at Environment Canada doing an 8-month co-op, so that counts as like 2. And then I'm doing innovation and infrastructure with my 2 supervisors with the Water Survey of Canada. So a lot of hydrology, but also I've been doing a lot of infrastructure design, like stilling well, decommissioning, and making sure that because Water Survey of Canada has been around for over 100 years. So the wells that they put up, they used to use mercury and have a lot of hydrocarbons. So kind of remediating those so that there's not contamination spreading into the rivers right now and like moving forward. And then also innovation. Right now I'm working with my supervisor and we're figuring out a way to measure the discharge of the river and like the velocity of the river without actually getting in the river and getting like accurate enough readings to produce reputable data. So it's I get to see both sides. It's a really cool job. It's remote because of co-op or because of COVID. And it's still a cool job, even remote, but it was supposed to be a lot of field work. So yeah, environmental has really cool co-ops. Like in January, my next co-op is going to be with Geological Survey of Canada, Natural Resources Canada. And it's like a marine geology co-op doing lab research. And so I'm getting to see like a lot of different things, even from these 2 co-ops. And then I still have one more after, and I don't even know what I'm going to do then, but it's a lot. It's a very cool discipline because usually there's a lot of field or like hands-on work.
Yeah, and so I did 4 co-ops. I started in civil and did a civil co-op, and I didn't enjoy it. And then I did industrial, and I did an industrial co-op and didn't really enjoy it. And then I switched to environmental and did 2 environmental co-ops. I did one at Nova Scotia Power, which I really loved. And then this past summer, I did one at Dexter Construction. And it was tons of field work. Like I had my own truck that I had all summer. I got to fly drone and quarries, so very cool job, very outdoorsy. And the fun thing about Dal too is that you can do like as long as you do like the 12 months of co-ops, it doesn't matter what discipline you do them in. So if I didn't do like the civil and the industrial co-ops, I wouldn't have known that like it wasn't really my bag. So very important to do co-ops just so you know what it's really like, and you also get to make money.
And it helps after school to like have connections and get a job.
Yeah,
very important. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Sorry for the issues at the beginning. I don't know what happened, but we're here and we're doing. Yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the chat box and we'll answer them. We'll also say that environmental is great because it's like a small discipline. There's only like 30 to 40 like students a year. And we have like the highest girl to boy ratio, I'd say, of all the disciplines. It's like you don't feel like you're the only one. Like I think almost, it's not quite 50-50, but it's probably like 30-70